Hey guys, what's up? It's me. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw a jacket from Hotline Miami. Now for today's drawing tutorial, all you need is a simple pencil with a handy dandy pencil sharpener. If you have a mechanical pencil, you won't need a pencil sharpener. And finally, your combat knife. Oh, wait. You won't need that for a drawing tutorial. I put that away. Let's get started, gamers. Now what you're seeing me do here is basically moving my pencil without actually touching the paper. It's basically a step in a gesture drawing. A gesture drawing is basically a really fast, like, sketch. And basically what I was doing is making an outline of jacket. So, we're going to begin with his pants. Now right there, I made indication lines for the, for his crotch area, right there. And here, I'm actually making the top line for his pants, and this is where we're going to go ahead and sketch out the jacket. Now don't worry about any rough lines, this is a sketch after all. Now what I'm doing is shaping the jacket, which actually is his jersey. Now of course, this is kind of like a realistic looking character, clothes-wise. The clothing is basically, all clothing will be wrinkled, so you want to try to capture the wrinkles, but not yet since this is a simple sketch. So right there in the middle, this jersey won't be actually tucked in all the way. It'll actually have an opening where you'll see his shirt. Now we're beginning on the arms. Now you saw me make a little half moon type of line on top. That's where a little indication line where we're going to do his head. And jacket will be holding a hammer and a little cassette player. So basically, all we're doing is making the basic shape of our figure. And this is going to be the hammer right there. And for the hands, guys, all you really have to do is make little oven mitts. And this arm is going to be a little going outwards to the right. And this will be the hand that will hold the little cassette player that he gets messages from. I'm not too sure, I haven't really played the game. And just make little circles or oval shapes for his fingers. And this is where we go and do the mask, his chicken mask. Just make a big, elongated gumdrop shape. And there, we're going to make the little rounded shape on his head. I don't know what this is called on the actual chicken's head. So you might have to do some erasing. But really, this is just a sketch, so if it looks weird, don't worry about it. Now right there, that shape I just made is for his beak, and those two circles, of course, is going to be his eyes. Now yes, it looks weird, but don't worry, those are just indication shapes for the actual, so when we actually make the head and start adding details and make it look like the jacket's mask. Now right here, we're going to make a little zipper for his pants, and then we're going to work on the belt. Just a simple belt below his jacket and his shirt. His shirt's actually going to be covering a little bit of his belt buckle right there. So, like I said, we're actually going to make wrinkles in the pants and the clothing. When you wear clothing, they're not all... Of course, you know, when you wear clothing realistically, it's not all going to be straight and clear. It's going to have a lot of wrinkles, especially near your shoulders and your knees. That's where clothing wrinkles the most. And it just adds a lot more detail. Now you can see I'm finishing up on the pants, on the belt buckle, and then we're going to continue on to the jersey. Now, I love this character's design. When I was looking at the picture, it was so colorful. And it's like colorful, but also gritty. I love it. And I would like to play the game soon. It looks really cool as well. So yeah, you can pause the video at any time to observe any wrinkles I put in, or if you're actually looking at the photo that I have, a photo of jacket, the same one I'm making a drawing of, you can actually observe the wrinkles there as well. Now right there on his left side, there's like a little pocket area right there, and of course there's going to be some wrinkles there too. So yeah, wrinkles, they're a necessary detail, of course, but they're not really hard. They're just basically roundish wave-like lines across the clothing, and you just have to put it in the right spot to coordinate with the actual clothing. And the same goes for, well, pretty much everything. His shirt, his jersey, and not his mask. But what's really cool for his hands, he's basically have like a bandage around those hands. So when you're looking at the picture from Google Images or whatever source material you have, you don't really have to make the bandages on the hands perfect. Just basically make lines across his hand, and that will simulate bandages. And it looks pretty badass on this character. And now we're going to go ahead and work on the hammer, if you haven't already. Hammer's not nothing too big, not anything too complicated. And don't worry, the cassette player is also very easy as well. So yeah, his accessories are very easy. Now don't worry, we will be adding shading into these wrinkles. Now, make sure that you shapen his jacket some more, his jersey I should say. And if you want to add some wrinkles of your own, go ahead. Now what I'm doing on the right side is making what looks like to be the letter B on the right side of his jersey. And you don't have to make a actual B, it's kind of, looking from the picture, it was kind of like half there and half like on the other side where you can't really see. So just make a little half B right there. And there's like little buttons on the right side, and on the left side is just the little slots where the buttons go into. And this is where we're going to actually make the cassette player, which is very easy. Nothing too complicated. It's basically just a rectangular shape. And you're going to make another rectangular shape there, where it's going to show the actual tape inside it. Of course, don't forget these wrinkles. And for the bandage area on his right hand, you can't really see because the cassette player is actually covering his whole hand, his whole right hand. So just make a little 2 circles for the cassette, and make a little button on top, and there you go, your handy dandy cassette player. Now, on to my favorite part of this drawing tutorial, the mask. I love the mask. Now, this is where we're actually going to shapen his mask. As you can see, it's pretty much, it's not a realistic chicken mask at all. It's actually just pyramid-like shapes, spiky-like shapes pointing downwards. Now, I don't know what this is called on the chicken, but the ones that are, the things that are hanging down the cheeks on his beak is actually just these, I have no idea. They're basically just roundish-like shapes, and they're pretty easy to do, pretty easy to make. And the beak as well. Make sure you shapen your beak as well. And now you can see we're actually making his mask. And of course you want to shapen these circles. And of course add the little nose holes for the beak as well. Now this is looking like a chicken mask. A chicken mask for jacket. And this is where we're actually going to add some detail for the little things on the head. Sorry, I wasn't raised on a farm, or actually know every body part about the chicken, even though there's simple body parts. And right here, just make a big ovalish-like circle for his eye right there, and completely darken it out. And right here, his right eye is actually a little whited out. It's still going to capture that ovalish shape, but it's going to be a little bit wider, just slightly wider. Of course, you want to do the same thing for that you did on the left eye, on the right eye, and darken it as well. And also, he kind of has these, not eyebrows, but kind of like little, how should I say this, little wrinkles on top of his eyes. But don't make them too dark, and just, put some light shading to simulate wrinkles on the top of it, going upwards to his mask. And we're going to make a little spiky shapes down below his beak as well. And there you go. So our jacket has really come together. Now all we need to do is put in some extra effort and do the shading. Now shading is awesome, alright guys? Shading is probably the best things you can do for your drawing. It's awesome. Because shading, it just makes it look more realistic if you're doing a more realistic drawing like this one. But it also looks great on cartoonish drawings. Let's say if you're doing a drawing on SpongeBob or Mordecai from regular show, or any really cartoon character at all. Adding shading to those characters makes them pop out. Not necessarily realistic, but makes them pop out. And it just looks cool. Now for the wrinkles on Jacket's jersey, or jacket if you will, all you really need to do is just add in shading on the wrinkles that you made. So pretty much every wrinkle, but if they're little thin wrinkles, you don't have to add too much shading on them. Just at the big wrinkles that we're actually concerned of. And now there are actual spots on his jersey that are not really, that don't have any wrinkles, but they actually have spots of shading on them. They're basically below some wrinkles here. Like I said, you can pause the video at any time to observe, or you could actually look at a picture on Google Images or any kind of source material you have. Now, if you have played Hotline Miami and looked at the character, now I think the original design for this character didn't look like this. This character design I actually got from Payday 2. Now, yes, I like to do variation for my channel, and you're probably, well, I mean, you already did a Payday 2 drawing. Yes, that's right, I did Wolf, but this is